handouts. I tried to grab some of the things that either help me or help me learn some of the things I know. Again, we talked about it's round table, so if you had that specific question or you have something you want to share with everybody, I always, no matter if it's beginner, advanced, whatever it is, somebody's playing the flute. I always get something out of it when musically. I get a new idea. I listen to a lot of music, not just blues, but I have all kinds of music that I listen to. So I put together a few handouts, and then I grabbed a couple of the traditional handouts that I had, tablature sheets for doing the call and response and type of chugging and that I invited Sarge not only to listen to my garbage, but to get up and teach his wonderful stuff as well. So hopefully he can give us some pointers on how to do the stuff he does, and so that was the whole thing of it. I got it set up here, stick mic, bullet mic, whatever we want to use, and then so that's that. Whoever comes late can have one of these, but I won't instruct it again.
There you go.
You want one, Billy?
Choosing the right key.
Okay. I know most of you. You still got a harmonica, right?
I still do, yeah.
All right, then you did one of those.
Unless I got that out.
Okay. So, yes, I'm a young man, okay, but probably about 13 or 14 years ago, I had an urge to play harmonica while I played guitar. I've been playing guitar since I was 16. I was never very good, self-taught, and I wanted to play harmonica in the rack specifically because of one Neil Young song. I wanted to play the Neil Young song, so I ran down to the music store and in my area, and they knew nothing about harmonicas, and I said, I need a harmonica, and they said, what key do you want? And I said, I don't know. And I said, well, the song's in G. And he goes, well, then you need a G harp. And I said, okay, great, sell it to me. So I bought this $40 or $50 harmonica. It was like a
$10 harp.
What is it? Asian brand, herring or something like that. And I got home and I tried desperately to play a G harp in the key of G, not knowing what first position was, and I could not make this thing do what I needed to do.
So you had a D harp?
It was a G harp.
In key of G.
And I wanted to play the song in the key of G.
What was the song? Well, that's fine for Neil Young.
Well, actually, in that song, he plays a C harp in cross position.
He did?
Cross harp.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think he ever did.
Yep.
What
And
song there? I learned something already. Make note of that.
It's a great song. It's
Heart of Gold?
Nope. No.
Keep on rocking in the free world.
No.
Something Moon. Harvest Moon.
Yeah, something Moon, right?
Yeah, I've been asked to play that at UWC.
I've been asked to play Muskrat Love before, and I told them hell no.
It's just doing that little chirping. That
You got something wrong with Captain and Tennille? Or
Yeah,
what?
right. Well, anyway, so to make a long story even longer, I go at Christmas time. I got an envelope. My father-in-law has an envelope. My wife surprised us and bought us beginning blues harmonica lessons at the local college. It was an 8-week course, and it came with a harmonica. When you showed up, they hand you a harmonica, and that instructor ended up being John Costa, who was a longtime friend of mine, and I ended up taking lessons with him for 12 or 13 years. He was connected for a long period of time before that with Joe Falisco in his class, and he knew everything, guitar, bass, old-timey, blues, everything. And so I had this big opportunity to learn. So with that, he taught me a lot of basic stuff, which I've got here. I started as a pucker player. There's the whole discussion you can do on pucker playing, U-block, tongue block. I'm going to tell you what works for me and how I learned, and maybe that'll help you if you do or don't. I don't know who's pucker players, who's not here, but I'll show you how I did it and a little bit of what I know. So you asked me a question there, darn it. I'm going to look for that real quick. So, talk about tongue blocking a little bit. The way that I learned to tongue block is I knew I could, first thing I had to learn was how to get single notes pucker playing, which is when you first start is impossible. It seems like the harmonica is leaking like crazy and you're not getting this sound. And once you finally dial in on that single note, you think you're the star. You're ready to play old Susanna and everything. So, and I studied that. Well, what I did was I really wanted to learn this, a little bit of the traditional and some of this blues stuff. And of course it was told to me, you want to play like Little Walter and RJ and all these guys, the Chicago blues, you got to be tongue blocker. So what I did was, being that I had lessons in all kinds of harmonica playing, I took the third sheet there, and I sat there and I practiced Red River Valley trying to tongue block until I got single notes. So I tried to get the very first note is a 3. So I gave you the tablature there. There's a couple different types of tablature. I'll talk about them if you don't know what tablature is. This one's really easy. It tells you B for blow and D for draw. And the numbers are just the number on your harmonica. And so what I did was I put my tongue out to the side and I tried to get that 3 draw as solid as I could. Just the way I would when I pucker played. Same thing, that was pucker, that's tongue blocking. And then or that's actually a 3 blow, I said 3 draw, but. So there's the blow. And I sat there and tried to figure this out until I could play this piece. Then I knew I was able to tongue block. Okay? So that's a little tip for you guys if you want to, if you're not doing it and want to learn. That was a simple way for me, and it introduced me to a whole new type of playing. Not to say pucker playing isn't good. You have that great, on the F harp, Junior Wells, who also was a tongue blocker, he also was would play. He would mix the two, and he does that cool thing in Messing with the Kid, and he actually pronounces drawing in ooda little little, ooda little little, ooda little, but very fast. He's like that, and he does the 4/5. So he does that pucker playing. He's not tongue blocking, and then so it's on the F harp, and it's something like this. I never got it down. And then he switches to tongue blocking to go down to the 2 draw. So that's where you can kind of mix it. So that's how I got introduced to tongue blocking. I don't have any more to say about it unless you have questions about it. I am going to talk about harmonic playing a little bit because I do a lot of that, and it opens up your sound, and that's where you, or you call it, I don't know if you have a different name for it, but where you play the 1 and the 4 at the same time, the 2 and the 5.
Well, octaves.
Octave.
Split octaves.
Split octaves, okay.
All right.
So I'm using those all the time as well, and you're only going to do that if you're using your tongue in some way, and you make more of a little pointy, and then you get that. It gives a nice bright sound other than just hitting that 4. So you'll hear me a lot of times when I'm playing. When I'm rhythm playing, I'll do that a lot. I did it when we were playing third position yesterday. I was just doing the 1/4 to the 2/5 blow to the 2/5 draw. Like that. So that's a little tip there. Any questions on the tongue blocking? Or anything of that nature? The great thing about it, what I've found, everybody can hear me without the mic, right? The great thing I found about it is when you get a little bit, you get the 3 with a little bit of 4, or you get the 4 with a little bit of 5, it gives you a little bit of pizzazz when you're playing. You know, when you're like, I'm also doing a little bit of throat vibrato there, but if I try to cut that out, then it's. So when I did the Pan American Blues yesterday, I did the 3 with a little bit of 4 for the train imitation for the whistle. I'm getting 3 with a little bit of 4, and like I said, the only reason you're getting that is because you're able to open the side of your mouth open a little bit more than you can if you were trying to pucker it and do it. you're getting this side open, and you get, I don't know, a larger sound out of the harmonica. And that's what everybody wants, right? They buy amps and mics and whatever. They want to sound bigger than the actual instrument is. So those are the little things that I do with tongue blocking. Everything else I'm doing just like you guys are doing and playing the same riffs and notes and whatever. But I'm tongue blocking. So I am the world's worst person to memorize anything. You guys that were here last night learned that when I brought out the music stand and put my book in front of me so I could remember stuff. So what I do is I actually have this cut out in my harmonica case, and this is a great little key to show you what the song is in and what harp you should play for first, second, third, and fourth position. There's actually 12 positions. Most harp players play in the first 3, but some people, I do one song actually that it's a Rolling Stone song I play in the 5th position, and I only do that because I learned it off of, who the heck is, no, it's
YouTube.
famous guy who teaches harmonica.
Joe Flisco.
Gage, Dan Gage.
Richard Slade.
Oh, that
So
guy.
if you watch his videos on YouTube, he's doing an old Rolling Stone tune. And I was playing with my friend Kevin. I brought him to the Bean a couple beans ago. You guys probably all remember him. And he plays a lot of classic rock, a lot of 60s music and that. And he wanted to play this song. And I said, how the heck am I going to put harmonica to it? So I looked on my charts here and I figured out, okay, I could play in these keys. I couldn't find the notes good enough to play with this song. I started looking online for people who played harmonica on it. Richard Slade did it with a guitar, with a rack. It's called Play with Fire. If you remember that one by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Play
with me, 'cause
you're
you're
playing
playing
with
with
fire. And it's got
That's
this,
an old one.
it's got
Yeah.
this cool little thing, yeah. And so anyway, this thing is so, you can see mine is so old and crunched up because I keep it in my case and I keep a photocopy at home. It's a cool song. It's very mysterious and I wanted that sound. And I was able to, actually, give me 2 seconds. I got a recording of it that me and Kevin
Don't you
did.
play with me, 'cause you're playing with fire.
Yeah. So I carry this everywhere I go, and you'll see me grab my phone and like try to look at it. Last night while we were playing, you were calling out minor tunes in that. I go right to the 3rd position because I want to sound minor too, and because I don't have minor harps, I just have straight keyed
There's
harps.
somebody around here.
And yeah. So I go down here and I look. Okay, we're going to play an E minor. Then
But Chris,
I better grab a D harp and start playing in 3rd position.
this is a C harmonica.
Yep.
The draw notes are D, G, B, D, F, A, B, D, F, A. D, F, A is D minor. So holes 8, 9, and 10, that's a D minor. Holes 6, 5, and 4, that's a D minor. So if you put your tongue over hole 7 and suck the 3 on each side, that's a great big D minor chord. So if I'm going to play in D minor, how about the harmonica that has 2 great big D minor chords, duh, the C,
Yeah.
instead of looking at the chart.
Well,
Just
when you're as knowledgeable as
Just an
Bruce
idea.
here, I'm not that knowledgeable. Yeah, I agree. And actually, you can walk into anywhere with one harmonica and pretty much find a way to play it in any key at any time.
Howard Levy can.
So, well, the reason why I'm talking about 1st, 2nd, and 3rd position, though, Bruce, is because you get the most notes playing in these keys. Reason why cross harp is so popular is because it opens up such a variety of notes on the harmonica, draw and blow, that you almost can't mess it up. And then 1st position coming next, there's a few there that you shouldn't play, but then there's a whole bunch more that you can, more on the higher end. That's why you hear all these 1st position songs, they're way up in the high register because there's lots of notes available. And then the 3rd position as well, when playing in minor, there are notes like what my lesson was, never play the 2 draw and the 3 draw you can play the 3-draw whole step bend, which I'm terrible at nailing every time. So I don't even touch them. I use the split octave, and I go up to the 4/5 and the 6 draw, and use that for my third position.
2 draw. What did you just say? 2 draw, 1 space in. Is that what you said?
2 draw, 2 draw and 3 draw. I stay away from in third
And
position.
third
Unless you
position.
can hit a 2 draw.
Oh, 3 draw whole step bend.
What is it? A whole
So-
step, okay, a whole step bend.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you
So
said a whole step
the
in.
three has 4 notes. Okay, in the draw mode, you have your standard 3, then you have a half step, and then you have a whole step. So the whole step draw in whatever key you're in is in there, but you got to nail it, and you can go even
Right.
lower, and you're out of tune, and you'll hear it. It just doesn't sound right. So that's why I was saying the 3-draw whole step bend is acceptable to play in third position, but you got to know your bends. I'm not that keen to hit it every time. And that was actually one of my lessons, not here, but at one time, was I'd sit there all day long and oh, it's boring as hell, but that's the only way you're going to learn is sit there and do
Do it with
it.
a keyboard too, you know, play on
Yeah.
the keyboard, then on the
Right.
When you were saying, yesterday, when you were gonna play a minor tune, or playing a minor, third position, so you used a D harp.
Uh-huh.
Okay, according to this, that would have been C, you'd been playing in C.
No, you might.
Yeah.
Yeah, E minor.
Well, this says,
Look at
where
the,
key of D harp, you'd use a D harp,
Well, you didn't have E minor listed.
you play in key of C in third position.
there's no minors on that chart.
Right.
Because if you're going to play in minor, I'd use third position. So you're here. This is the key of the song. So John told me he was playing E minor. So I went to E, and I know that third position sounds good with minor.
Uh-huh,
So I went to the D harp. So here he is.
okay, he's playing in E,
Right.
And I said, I want to play third position, so I'm going to grab my D harp.
because he's playing E minor.
Yeah. Because he's
Okay.
playing E minor, just because I'm playing minor, I can play third position in E major.
In a major chord.
It's
yeah.
fine. But I choose to do third position in a minor because it sounds like minor music to me.
It's a fuller, there's a couple of reasons
It's
not
because-
to use
Because the third is
the minor harp, okay? And this is coming from too many lectures from Jason. You can play chords in third position, and if you try it on a minor harp, it sounds like crap.
Right.
So you can't do that, and because most of them are draw chords, you can be a little more expressive. You can use the 3-draw, but he also said avoid it.
Yeah.
For the same reason, he said you better nail it. He said you can do the half step too, but we were at a club meeting one time, and one of the guys brought a brand new guy, never played before, right? And he's sitting there, and he has no idea what he's talking about. First position, second position. Jason said he explained it real quick, and he said you could play. I can teach you right now to play third position, and he said just play all the draw notes and avoid the 3. And so he said, okay, let's do it. And so he puts on, and he's coaching him, and the kid played right through it and didn't sound too bad.
No, it didn't.
Actually, what Costa did when I was learning, whatever position we were playing in, he would play his guitar and he would say, 2 draw,
Uh-huh.
3 blow, 4 draw, and we would just follow that. And we were making music and we had no idea what we were doing. And then he would say, you just played in third position and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
And we were like, we don't even know what third position is,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. So I was talking about fifth position. I found the song. I'll play a quick piece of it so you can hear what fifth position harmonica sounds like with the Play with Fire. Just a little bit of it here. So you hear it right here. that 3/4. So you can see here, I'm playing in a position I've never played before. I just followed Richard Slade and tried to figure out what notes he was playing, and I followed the melody of the song. And then that's the solo. I do the exact same thing in the solo that I do throughout the whole song, and people love it.
What key is the song?
It's in fifth. It's gonna be.
No, what key is the song?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think.
It's a,
I'm playing a C
E
harp.
minor, it's a G.
Yeah.
It's an E minor, okay.
Yeah.
So instead of playing third, E minor, okay, your D, so you're playing a C harp.
C harp.
Fifth position.
Yeah, yeah. And you'll see that my notes are so limited here. I'm only playing a couple of single note melody pieces. See how nice that sounds? So that's an example of where you would use some random position or whatever. So anyway, this sheet here is extremely useful to me. I don't know if it'll be useful to you, but I carry it along everywhere I go. Somebody calls out a key, and I look right here to my little cheat sheet, and I say, "Oh, I'm going to grab that harp and try that."